Hello everybody, I am back. My name is Anna Torelli and I am here again for one more video. In this video, I want to talk about self-love, cultivating self-love. Obviously, some of us don't really know how to, or we don't know what we're doing when it comes to self-love at times, or sometimes we don't do enough. And in my opinion, it is time for a lot of us to cultivate it, to make sure that we're growing that self-love. Now, I want to say thank you for being here first. And this is a very important topic that I believe everybody should be really getting into and growing their self-love. Now, I have been working on my own my own self-love for a while now, and I have noticed a few things that I've been doing that I would like to share with you in order to help you build that self-love. Now, building self-love, of course, is not going to be easy. It's not about what you do, it's more about how it affects you. Keep track of things that you're doing. Keep track of your feelings, how something affects you, like the way if you change your routine or change something in your life, how does it affect you? So you're gonna have to do a lot of, I guess, monitoring yourself, your own emotions, and that will start with building awareness. Now, awareness will be one thing that will help you pretty much in a lot of stages of building self-love, because it is about how you respond, how you feel. And from there, feelings can be so different for other people, and not everybody reacts to feelings the same way. So therefore, that's why it's important for you to keep track of how you're feeling, how you are doing when you're cultivating that self-love. Now, it will definitely, once you have cultivated at least some of it, you will start building confidence. You will start just having more happiness in your life and feeling more good about yourself, and it matters what you feel inside. Keeping this inside in a calmer state, in a state of just where you are wanting to create and not have to worry about life in general, like so much about it. So confidence, happiness, and peace inside will definitely grow within you once you start growing this self-love. But like I said, it will not be easy. It will take a lot of looking into your deepest wounds, because you have to heal them. In order for you to build that self-love, you do have to forgive yourself. You have to start learning that the past is gone, and we can change things from now on, from this present on. So I just want to say, only if you're ready to begin that journey, that path to self-love, I want to say that's when you can decide to do this. I in no way telling anybody that they have to. In fact, I'm just helping out and giving suggestions for the people that are ready to view those things that they can change, things that they can start doing for themselves and caring for themselves. Now, you can do the exercises I let you know. And first, again, you're going to start with awareness. You're going to have to start noticing how you feel inside. Like you can keep a journal about your feeling, your state, as well as your self-talk. We're constantly talking to ourselves. But some of that talk is not very positive. It's actually negative, right? A lot of it, sometimes what we do is let's say we go someplace and instead of wanting to meet new people, and instead of wanting to put ourselves out there, we don't. We stay kind of, I want to say, trapped in the moment, in the feelings that we're feeling, like feelings of shame, guilt, feelings that just are more negative, that bring you down. And literally too, not just about the way that you're talking to yourself, but even the tone, what you mean to say to yourself, what I want to say memories your mind is bringing up. Does the memories make you sad? Do the memories bring up old wounds or things like that? So noticing when you are doing that is important, especially, again, first, the self-talk. Now, self-talk is hard to change. I am not gonna lie. It's important to keep strong awareness around exactly the things that you are saying to yourself. Some of us have that deep-rooted, which means it's unconscious. It's not something that you hear in your head. It's more so a feeling, like something that you feel, right? Sometimes it can be that negative, those negative feelings that you just kind of go with. Your body just goes with it because sometimes we are so used to them that it goes automatically to that. And it can help to journal a lot. If you just have a freestyle notebook, and it can be any notebook. Mine currently that I have, again, I've been filling up with everything. So like any thought that you have, any feelings that you have, you can try to work them out in your notebook. Try to learn where they come from. Try to see what triggers them. If you start noticing what exactly triggers you when it comes to that talk, the inner talk that you have in your head, that can be very helpful. So working your issues out in a notebook can be very important and very beneficial to you. So I would suggest, trying that as well as notice how you talk about yourself with others. So let's say you make a mistake at work or whatever, or any place. If you constantly say, "Oh, how stupid of me," "Oh, I'm so stupid," or things like that, that's not good for you, because in the end, in reality, you're putting yourself down. And I don't know if you guys know, we have two minds, of course. A conscious mind, the mind that is actually awake and taking in everything that is going on around you. Now, the conscious mind can notice things and it cannot notice things, right? So, but your subconscious mind is the one that controls everything without you doing it directly, like breathing, moving a certain way, your muscle spasm, like that is controlled by your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind does not have a filter. So the conscious mind is supposed to be the filter for the subconscious mind. So before you get any negative statements that you start believing about yourself or start believing about other people or life or whatever, the subconscious mind takes in everything as it is true. It has no filter. It cannot distinguish whether it is true or not. So therefore, if your subconscious mind is learning these ideas, these negative ideas that come up in your head, if it starts to internalize it, then of course you yourself are sabotaging yourself. So you create that, you can create that sabotage within yourself, that constant depression, the constant running through the past, going through whatever happened to you 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, it doesn't even matter. But in your head, if you still keep playing that, if you still keep on that same mindset or that event or whatever happened in the past, you're constantly reliving it in your own head. And that is constantly reinforcing that negativity within you. So that's why it's important. And I tell people, don't call yourself that. Please don't say that about yourself. Because sometimes where I work, people will say something, or make a mistake or whatever. And it happens everywhere. You can make a mistake anywhere, right? Not just work. So, but you call yourself stupid, or you call yourself whatever, something that is derogatory. You're putting yourself in that mentality that it makes you think that it's okay for you to feel stupid, for you to feel negativity, or the shame, the guilt, or whatever it is, the negative emotion. It enforces it in your body. So therefore, I think it's very important that we start realizing where that happens. What kind of sentences or phrases or constant memories are you going through in your head? It is better to stop doing that. As soon as you notice yourself going into that direction, that rabbit hole, it is important to stop. Now that would be the next step. You stop yourself. You start asking yourself, is this beneficial? Is this negative thought really beneficial? Is it making you stronger? Is it making you want to do better? Is it just depressing you? And noticing where those things take you is important. Now, from there, you can start realizing, okay, I need to stop saying this about myself. I need to stop talking about this or talking about that, or going into the past. Anything in the past, we cannot change. And there is a quote that I like. It says, no amount of shame or guilt is going to change the past. No amount of worry is going to change the future. The more you worry about things, the more they tend to happen, right? I don't know if you have noticed that, but the more you start thinking about that, the more it happens. So it's important to notice those things. Where is your mind going? Where is that point, where that initial point where it starts to go down that rabbit hole? Now, and again, the freestyle writing, it's important to start noticing your feelings. How do you feel? How does it make you feel? And yes, that's kind of like a therapist, but you can be a therapist for yourself. You don't, if you put your effort into it, you can do anything. And I really believe that. I hope some people out there can believe that. But realizing, how does it help you? When you start to get that negative thought, ask yourself, how is this helping me right now? Is this taking me to a better place? Is this, is it truth? Is it something that I need to believe? And noticing where you can make that change. Now, I do believe too that from the past, we can just learn the lessons. We can start looking at what we did wrong And then from there, make different changes next time. Next time something comes up, change it. Make it better. You can't always change anything. No. So therefore, it can be changed the way we want it to, especially when it comes to you yourself and you are dealing with yourself. You can change anything you want within you. Believe me, it can happen. Or if that negative thought is showing you something that you don't want, but you want the opposite, start thinking about the opposite. Start focusing on the opposite. Like you can start changing your lifestyle to change that. You can start changing your mindset to change that. First it has to start with the mind. You can't just change your body just like that without changing your mind first. Now, your way of being inside, in here and in here, in order to start changing who you are. So it also depends on who we are associating ourselves with, that we let our minds follow the mindset of the crowd, or we let our mind follow the idea that other people have. And I really believe it's time we start making our own choices, not wait on other people. It doesn't have to be about what other people are doing for you to start living. It doesn't have to be like that. What it can be is you can make those choices. You can make those changes. Okay, so I want you to understand we all have the power to change, but it has to start within us to want to change, right? Now, as you get better at noticing, you go further. You question yourself if this is beneficial to you. When it comes to your self-talk, you can also ask yourself, does this make me a better person? Does this train of thought or that idea or that mindset, does it make me better? Okay, you can start thinking about those things and journaling about them. And if it doesn't seem like it's making you better, then obviously start doing something that does. And there are so many actions we can regret from the mindset that we put ourselves in. So let's say we keep ourselves in a depressive mode. Do you think people are going to want to hang out with us? So what exactly are you putting out there when it comes to you? How are you showing up when it comes to situations, anything at work? How are you how are you showing yourself? Now that you're starting to notice your state and starting to change it, I really do suggest using compassion for yourself, using forgiveness for yourself. I guess having mercy for yourself gives you that sense of hope, and you start to believe better things, and you start to change to reflect that new belief. So again, using forgiveness, compassion, and eventually this will take you to self-acceptance. You will start to accept who you are, your situation. And if you're not liking your situation, you can change it. You can start learning that from there, you can do different things. Now, you can ask yourself, what would have been the best approach? What would have been the best outcome? Or what would have been the best decision? Obviously, if you feel like you didn't do that, then you can say to yourself, okay, it didn't happen at that moment. For the next time the same situation comes up, I can do this differently. and you start to think of lessons that you learned and actions that you can do in order to have a better situation, event of whatever happened. And you need to ask yourself too, can I apply it in my life? Is this a lesson you can apply to yourself, to your future life? That's how it's supposed to be. Basically, you look at how you are, make changes, start realizing, be accepting of those changes. And if they're not working, you change it again. So it's constant review, constant checking and reviewing and changing. So, and I believe I talked about this cycle before, to definitely have a better change within yourself. Now, I want to emphasize that the goal is to minimize your focus on the response. So not being so reactive, but instead being responsive, which means that you are at least thinking about the response that you're going to have. You're at least imagining or thinking about how it's going to be. And there you start kind of focusing on a better future, a better solution. So again, minimizing your focus. You can never end negative self-talk. It's not going to end. There are things that I still have to work on, that I still, like, even though I worked on it several months ago, it can still trigger something within me if I let it. So that's the thing, if you let it. Now, you making sure that you have that diligence or that constant review and constant checking up on how you are doing, you can start making changes and making sure that you don't get back to square one. Okay? So persevering and molding this process to you basically is what you can do as well. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I say it. So eventually, once you definitely work on yourself, you will start to be able to change your views, your mindset, your heart, your way of being, okay? Your way of presenting yourself, the way that you are around other people. And definitely not letting your mind running away with you. That's very important. Making sure that your mind doesn't call the shots. You call the shots. Yes, you are a part of your mind, but you have the ability to think beyond of just what happens, the chatter that happens in your mind. I don't know if you guys have heard, but we kind of have like almost a little bit less or more, depending on the person, I guess. 70,000 thoughts that we have every day. So how many of those are negative? How many of those are positive? So it just depends on what exactly you're dealing with. Are you dealing with a lot of negativity inside your head? Are you dealing with a lot of positivity? Well, great. If you are, great. Keep working on that, making sure that you do bring yourself up, motivate yourself. Because I learned that if I don't do it myself, for myself, it's not going to happen. If I don't make the effort to make myself better, nobody else is going to make me do that, because a lot of us don't like to be told what to do. Our mind doesn't like to be told what to do. So noticing those kind of things is important. Our mind can be a 2-year-old, basically the same as a 2-year-old. And for those of us who have kids or have seen kids at that age, they're learnings, right? So they're going all over the place, learning so many things, and it's all new to them, right? Or they have a tantrum, and the tantrum just gets bigger and bigger, right? Because they don't have control. And you controlling your mind will be very important for your future in order for you to have the best future you can have, or becoming the best version of yourself. With a lot of anguish and tears, it makes you learn. But do we need those tears? Do we need that anguish in order to learn something? I don't think so. I don't think you need to punish yourself for things that happen that are wrong. Yes, you need to learn from them, and we can all learn from everything. But where is that love that you can have for yourself while you are learning? So if you yourself are making sure that you are compassionate with yourself, you tend to learn more. Yeah, I have noticed for me, the more I pamper myself, the more I take care of me, I feel more ready to take on life. I feel more equipped to take on those situations that come up. Anything can come up, right? Your car can break down. You say your child can have, let's say they're not passing grade, they don't have passing grades, or whatever the case. Anything can happen in life, and the way you respond is very important, because of course there are consequences to everything. If you are constantly reacting, is when you're just, as soon as the event happens, you react, you suddenly do something in order to counteract that idea or that event or deal with it. But you can be angry and just create more of that anger within you. Now, it happens. Not all of us can have that ability to control ourselves, and it takes work. You are not going to be able to have that be working right away as of tomorrow, but you can definitely start the path, the paving the way to yourself, to your own self-discovery. And I know there is a quote, knowing thyself, right? But as you give yourself more compassion and you start forgiving yourself for past decisions, eventually you can start to be able to motivate yourself and bring yourself up. If you are not where you like to be, then make it so. And you can start finding some peace and quiet inside you. It can happen. I'm going to be truthful. I used to have to motivate myself at least a week ahead to be able to get myself to do this video or these videos. I was always a person who wanted to be in the background. I am not good at public speaking. I am not good at speaking in front of people, but that is something that I can work on, and I know I've been getting better. It just takes time. Now I can just grab my stuff and start without having to create that momentum in the beginning. So picking myself up has taken time, but now it's a lot faster, a lot manageable. So that way I don't have to be in the dumps all the time. I don't have to consider myself less than worthy of anything. And another thing I do want to say, it's important to have affirmations. Now, I am gonna talk about affirmations are statements that we can repeat to ourselves to create a different idea or belief. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen some of my videos, or if you haven't, please do go back and see them. I talk a lot about how journaling can help you. And I want to show, this is my affirmations page, like this one right here. And this one is my being grateful page that I have been working on. So I do like I write a phrase and then I continue it. I keep writing over and over and over. And if I don't believe it then, I am sure going to be believing it later. You know what I mean? So it takes time, but at least you're reaffirming yourself. And that's why the word affirmation, because you're affirming the statement, or you're anchoring that thought within you. You're creating that initial spark of that thought. So I wanted to show, this is something anyone can do. And again, it's just writing the same statement over and over and over again. Like in The Simpsons, where he's writing on the chalkboard. Now, if you're using I will not, your mind is gonna even just go for the affirmation of it. So I will. So even if you say I will not do this, your mind is just looking at the comment or the affirmation within that. Do the opposite. I will do blank, blank, blank. So things like that. Start changing your way of talking to yourself. Now, finally, you can start accepting yourself as you are and as the way you are not. You don't have to be anything for anybody. You can be whoever you want to be. And learning that you can feel accepted within your own skin. Some of us don't feel comfortable within ourselves, and learning that we can do that. Because honestly, I'm going to tell you, I never thought I belonged anywhere. There was a lot of my life that I thought I never belonged anywhere. Doesn't matter where I was. I felt like I didn't belong. And it took a long time for me to realize that wherever I want to be, that's where I belong. See the difference? It just takes you working on you in order to get there. And like I said, it won't be easy, but you can start to build that momentum by, again, noticing those thoughts, noticing where you can change those things, and start looking at the opposite. If you feel like you are the worst person on earth, you can begin to feel like the best. You know, it's not about what other people think in reality. It's what you think of yourself that matters to you. Okay? So it starts also with building boundaries. I want to say it's important to not let people take control of you. Okay? There is one quote I would do want to read. It's by Warren Buffett, and it says, "You will continue to suffer if you have an emotional reaction to everything that is said to you. True power is sitting back and observing things with logic. True power is restraint. If words control you, that means everyone else can control you. Breathe and allow things to pass." So all of us can learn that. You do not have to live by how other people tell you to live. You can decide that you can make your own, I want to say, temple within you, because technically our body is a temple, right? Our mind is a temple. And if we work on making sure that those two are protected and well taken care of, you start to have that life that you want. You start to have that future that you want, that purpose that you feel that you have. Some of us don't have that yet, and that's okay. But eventually that will come to you. Eventually that will become a part of your life. Whatever you want to do, you will get to do. Does that make sense? But yes, building boundaries is important. Don't let anyone change you. You change you. Because you are really, in reality, you're only responsible for yourself, your own way of thinking. And yes, parents could say, you know, we're responsible for the way the child thinks. Yes, in a certain way, yes. But once the child starts to have a mind of their own, they can build their own thinking, right? So building boundaries is placing limits also on how people enter your space, what time you give them, how much energy you put into that person. And if it's energy you don't want to do that, you don't want to use, it is what it is, right? So you can start realizing your own value, your own, how you deserve to be loved. And that can start within you. So, and again, awareness of your self-talk, how you feel, how you respond to things or to people. How do you present yourself? Now, noticing those things and working on those things will eventually bring you to have different beliefs, different thoughts about yourself. So that will be the beginning, but make sure that you are using compassion, forgiveness, cutting yourself some slack. A lot of the mistakes that we made were made in the mentality and in the moment that we were at, or the situation that we were at. If you were in a different situation, you may not have made the same decision. So have that compassion for yourself, knowing that you did the best you could. And if you didn't, then you can do it now, right? You can do it for the next event, the next situation. So it's having that awareness that maybe you don't like who you are right now, but you can change it. You can become the person that you want to be. Okay? So, and another thing I wanted to mention, which I recently learned, having part of that self-love is allowing people to give you love. It's allowing the people who do care about you to feel the love that they have for you. Sometimes we don't let people do things for us. For me, I don't like to ask for help if I don't feel that trust. If you don't like the way that you are, change it so you can be better. You can be the best version of you. I also wanted to mention a book that I have been reading for a while. Actually, it's been years that I've been having this book. This is more, it's called Meditations for Women Who Do Too Much. And yes, it's geared towards women, but it has a lot of great comments. Even if men can definitely read this book, it doesn't matter who it is for. A lot of times, yes, like I said, it's geared towards women, but there are so many things that can apply to men too. Okay, so it's not just about women. Men have feelings too, and men definitely can work on those as well. I wanted to mention a quote, something that she wrote, and it's not the quote that she uses, because the way the book is structured, she'll give you a quote and then talk about that and give you like a main idea. So the one that I liked was when she said this. She put, love is something that flows out of our deep sense of loving ourselves. So if you love yourself, it will be reflected towards people, towards everybody. Everybody will feel that love. I don't know about you, but some of us can and not directly feel. I mean, you can sense how somebody is feeling. So some sort of, we can all kind of like view a little bit of, or understand some feelings are, how somebody's feeling, right? Another thing she said, she was like, that she said was, when we love ourselves, there is no limit to the amount of love we can share. How wonderful, right? Basically, if you love yourself, you will be able to share that love even more naturally. It will come to you. So people will be more attracted to you, more, it's just, I guess when you feel somebody's really happy and upbeat and everything, like the way that they are, it can give you that hope, that sense of you can do it too. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the time that you put into this video. Thank you so much. And I hope we will see each other again in the next video. Thank you.